Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is B and you're part of Beekeeper of Plants. If you're new here, welcome. And for all of those that are returning and subscribing and leaving comments, I thank you so much. I want to ask you to do one extra step, and that is hit that notification bell so that you'll know when I upload another video. So do that so you will be the one to receive the next best video from Beekeeper of Plants. So in today's video, we have a repotting of very much needed plants for many different reasons. Some have either outgrown their pots, some are root bound. I'm going to be combining plants into one pot, yellowing leaves, just a variety of problems that these plants have, and I want to bring you along with me. In the previous video, I want you to take a look at that, and I'll link it at the top for you. I shared with you guys some tools that you have at your home currently that you can use for plants. And in today's video, like I stated in the previous video, I will be using some of those items with the repotting today. One such item is my potting mat. I have it right here that I'll be using with you. Not only that, I have also my measuring spoons. I'll be using that as well. So I want you to come along with me. If you have to repot some things, bring your plants and let's do a repotting together. How about that? So, green thumbs up. Let's get started, guys. Okay, well, I think I am going to start with the one plant, which is this golden pothos, and I'm going to repot all three of these together in one pot. So why don't we tackle in what I think is the biggest obstacle together. So I'm going to bring you down so that you can see the plants. How about that? 1 second. Okay. If my head is cut off, don't worry about it. Let's look at the repotting. So we have a golden pothos, and what I'm going to do is pot all three plants in this pot here. In one of my videos, I talked about using a moss pole. What I desired was to try out a moss pole to see if this golden pothos would actually attach its roots, and it didn't. So we're just going to go on and take it off. Okay, we're going to take it out of its pot. And what I have is a box that I'm just going to take most of the soil from around. So, you know, when you repot, like I said in one of the videos, and I'll quite often say this, repotting, I tell you, can be a very messy job. And I'm so glad that I have this large potting mat, which is nothing but a shoe and boot tray to use to catch all of the dirt. So I took this one off. Has nice roots. I'm going to set it aside. Okay, I'm going to take this one from the trellis, and I'll be able to use this trellis for something else. I got this trellis from Hobby Lobby. It came with 3 different sizes. So I'm going to go on and take this one out. And I think that this particular plant will be happier combined with its brothers and sisters. Okay, it has a nice root system. I'm going to lay it aside. And what I'm going to do, I won't even have to use the soil that I have brought in with me today. Not for this particular plant. Okay, so let's see what we have so far. This is what we have so far. Okay, it's nice and full. That's the look I'm going for. And we'll take this guy out as well. Okay, so let's see how we're going to do it. Let's get all this stuff out of the way. We're going for the full look. That's exactly what we have. I did not take all of the soil from around the roots, which was intentional. And so we're going to just go on and fill the bottom of this pot with a little bit of soil. Now, before we do that, well, we've done that. Okay, we've got the bottom of the pot with some soil. But before we move forward with putting the plants inside the pot, I'm going to use this mycorrhizal fungi for all of the plants. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put the soil at the bottom. Then I will sprinkle just 1/4 of a teaspoon at the bottom of this particular pot. Usually there are some people that will sprinkle it on the roots. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to sprinkle it at the bottom of the soil. And what the roots will do, they will absorb the nutrients from the watering along with this. So I'm just going to use 1/4. Not going to go over. I'm going to sprinkle it. This is how it looks. Sprinkle it at the bottom. Mix it up. Now I'm going to take my plant and I'm going to fill in around the edge of the pot. Excuse me. Just fill in and making sure that I get all of the soil filled in around the edge. As I go, I will be pressing down the roots into the pot. So, before we move forward, I'm going to also use my liquid dirt. This is a fertilizer. It's liquid dirt. And it's a great fertilizer that I particularly use when I do repots. So I'm going to go on and water around the edge just to get the soil nice and moist, and continue filling around it. And then I'll press it down some more. And I think that this is going to be a prettier pot of golden pothos than it was before, instead of having 3. Just have one big pot and let it continue to grow. So I'm just gently feeling around it, lifting any leaves that got tucked into the bottom. Tapping it in like so, making sure I'm getting into the center of it. You know, I enjoy doing repottings. You've heard me say, though it's a messy job, but I just love when my plants get into a new home and they look so pretty in their new home. And they appreciate it too. Because believe it or not, plants don't want to be over potted. You know, they prefer to be more snug in their home so that their roots will know that they're nice and secure. And they'll grow a whole lot better for us when we put them in a nice snug pot. Okay, so here we go. This is what we tackled first. We tackled the golden pothos. We put 3 plants into 1 pot, and this is the finished product. Okay, I'll give it 1 more good squirt of liquid dirt around the edges, and then we'll set it aside. That's it, guys. Set it aside, easy breezy, it's done, right? So let's get on with the very next plant that we're going to repot. And it will be this Philodendron Brazil. Let me tell you about this. I had gone to one of the plant stores here and just looking around and whatnot. I've seen this plant here on many creators' sites, and I've never owned one. Never. I think it's very beautiful. If we look at the leaves, it looks like a paintbrush has just painted on the beautiful colors of the leaves. Look at this one here with that one light green stripe going down the center. How beautiful. Okay, and then we have one here that's more light green than the other. So, and it has a lot of new growth that's coming in too. A lot of new growth. So you can see that. So it needs repotting. We're going to go on and get it into its forever home. Before we do that, let me share another secret that I do with extra soil. I make up my soil. I use regular potting soil, orchid bark. I use a little bit of perlite, and I also put in some charcoal as well. Okay, I kind of go heavy with the perlite so that it can be nice and airy, and heavy with the the orchid bark. Okay, and I'll show you what it looks like. Get some orchid bark for you. This is what it looks like. Okay. Now, I'm not one to like to waste anything. I just repotted the philodendron. All I'm going to do is take the old dirt, soil, whatever you want to call it, mix it in, and just add it to the potting mix that I make up. And that's what I do with all of my extra soil. I don't throw it out unless, you know, there are mealybugs or the plant is infected somehow or another. But usually, thank God, I have not had any problems with an infestation of mealybugs, spider mites, or anything like that. So I'm so thankful for that. So let's get started with the philodendron. We're going to take it out of its pot. And let's look at its root system. Look at that. It is ready to be repotted, right? So what I am going to do, not going to use this soil and place this soil into this container of good soil. Instead, what I'll do is use this container here and take away some of this soil here so that I can expose the roots and making sure that the root system gets all of the contact with the new soil that it needs. And you saw this huge root right here. I mean, it's growing beautifully. It's growing really nicely. So I'm not going to mess with it too much. I'm basically just kind of fluffing up the soil just a little bit. Just kind of fluffing it up. Definitely from around the top. Yeah. Okay. Anything like this that's dead, I'm pulling it off because I don't want anything to go into the new pot that is dead. This is a long root. Look at that. I'm going to leave it, see what it does. I'm pulling off all the dead sheaths. That's a dead sheath. So I'm pulling that off as well. Yeah, this plant here is ready for its new home. And I'm going to share something else with you. Let me show you what I'm doing. This is a brown root. I'm just going to pinch it off. Any brown roots, I'm pinching off. Because what'll happen, the new node or the node will grow new roots. So I'm just pinching it off. It's not going to hurt the plant. It's not going to kill the leaf. Okay? So, it's ready. Sit it down. I have this should be what, a 5.5 inch? Yeah, it's a 5-inch plastic pot with a hole, with holes at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is pot this plant into this pot here so that I can see the root system. And this was just what, like a 3.5 inch pot here. So I'm going up a pot size. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to fill the bottom with soil, like so. We're going to take 1/4 of the mycorrhizal, which is this, and we're going to put it at the top of the soil. Stir it in just gently. We're going to place our girl inside. Look at how she sits. Can you see that? Okay. And let's fill her in. The same process, filling around the sides of the pot, making sure that she's sitting in the center. Now, when you use a plastic pot so that you can see the roots on a new repot, you normally do not see the roots. The only time you'll begin to see the roots is when this plant began growing new roots, and then you'll begin to see the roots coming around the sides of the pot and even at the bottom. So don't be alarmed if you don't see your roots when you're repotting your plant, okay? I have this pot here. Let me take the tag off. I recently went shopping and I thought this pot was so cute. I bought 2 of them. This particular furniture store is called Frontier Furniture. It also sells a lot of pretty patio furnishings. And so this was in its patio furnishings side of the showroom. So look at it. And it's just a cover pot. There aren't any holes. So that's why I didn't pot the philodendron in this pot by itself, because there aren't any holes. And also, I don't think I would want to dirty up the inside of such a cute pot. Okay, so we have that pot that is done, and I'm going to share something with you. Let me go get something that I used in yesterday's video that I definitely need today. I didn't think I would need it, but I need it today. Hold on. I didn't think I would need it, but guess what? I need my makeup brush. Why? Because you can see that there's dirt on the leaves, and all I'm going to do is just brush that off. Just gently brush that off. This leaf here is yellowing, right? I could go on and pinch it off, but I'm not. Let it continue yellowing on its own, and guess what? It will soon fall off by itself. So we're going to go on, place it in the cash pot like this. Well, before we do that, why don't we water it in a little bit? Let's water it in. I'm sorry, I'm missing a step. Let's water it in. Just a little bit. Okay, we watered it in. Now, let's put it in its forever home. Here it is here. Turned out nice. You like it? So, this is it right now. Okay, so let's set it down and let's get on with the next one. This next plant that we're going to repot is a plant that I've had for a pretty good while. It's an arrowhead, and I made the biggest mistake with this plant and put it in a self-watering pot. This plant was doing fine before I got the creative juices flowing and say, let's put it in a self-watering pot. Arrowheads do not like to stay moist. You need to water them only when the first top of the soil is dry, and move on. And I put this thing in a self-watering pot and created an ugly plant. So before we pot it, we're going to go on and just clip back all of these yellowing leaves. You know, I'm very transparent when it comes to repotting, because everybody needs to know that all of your plants in your collection aren't doing the best. And why are they not doing well? What did you do? Because it wasn't a plant, it was you. Or what did you do to create this ugly growth that's happening with the plant? So I'm just taking off all of the dead pieces from around the base, and then I'm going to show you the new growth that's coming in. So let's see if you can see. Let me find it. The new growth that's coming in. Okay? Even you look at it's like, that's so ugly. Go on and take it. Take it off. It's not gonna, we're starting over. It's okay. So take it off. Your plant will end up being smaller than what you like, but it'll be healthy. So we're gonna take it out of this pot. Let's take it out of this pot. And then we'll look and see what the roots look like. Yeah. And I'm not going to reuse the dirt because the dirt is too wet. So take it out of this pot here. Let's set it aside. And look and see what these roots look like. So I'm going to pick the excess soil from the roots. I'm just rubbing it gently like so, because I really need this moist soil to be from around the roots. And as I'm pulling, I don't see any roots coming off, which means there's no root rot. Okay? So the root system is still pretty good. Thank goodness. And I'm just tearing away and now you can see the new growth that's going to come in. Okay, so let's get it into its forever home. I have the same 6-inch pot. I definitely would like to see how well the root system grows in this. So this Arrowhead needs drier soil than what I had it potted in. So let's go on and get it the right soil. Yeah, nice and airy. It's gonna be happier. And it definitely will not need any liquid dirt. Set it down. Get some mycorrhizal fungi. And let's sit it in. This is how it's sitting. Okay? I'm going to fill it in around the top. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really mad at myself for placing it in the self-watering. You know how you get new things and you just want to try it out with everything? I got those new pots, self-watering pots, and I wanted to try it out. Try it out with all my plants. You know, you get something new and you can't wait to try it out. That would be me. Okay, tap it down. But it's going to be happier. I guarantee it. That I know. Because it was doing well from the beginning. Okay. Let's look and see what we have here. This is the finished product. I did cut away a lot of the leaves, but we have a lot of new leaf action that is appearing. So this plant is going to rebound just fine. Okay, so let's get its forever pot. Okay. And here it is here, guys. And I am desiring to grow leaves like this all the way around. My hopes, even larger. So, wish me luck. Let's set it aside. The next plant I'm going to repot with you guys is a peace lily. I've never owned a peace lily. I think they're very easy to grow. Sometimes we can just set them in a nice corner and have a little bit of sunlight that's streaming through, and they will do beautifully for you. And then the plus side is that it blooms. It blooms really pretty, creamy flowers. So that's a plus for that peace lily. So I decided that I wanted to try one. I didn't buy a large one. I bought a small one. And here it is here. Okay. It has since grown. I know this doesn't look too small, but it was smaller than this. And I've had it for a pretty good while, at least a month. And it has grown. It is in a self-watering pot. It likes being somewhat moist, doing quite well, and it's such a pretty plant. However, it is outgrowing its home fast. It's growing, it's producing a lot of leaves, and I need to get it out of, this is a little dead leaf at the bottom. I need to get it out of here. This is some good soil. There's no problem with it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to combine it with our soil here. So let's do that first. And then we can look at the root system. Okay? So let's look at the root system. Look, it has grown beautifully, right? So it's ready to be repotted into a larger pot. So that's exactly what we're going to do with it. We're going to repot it into its forever home. So, let me share something with you. We're going to sweep all of this soil out the way, because I need a cleaner area. Like I told you, this boot and shoe rack is so large, right? You can sweep all your trash to one side and still have room to work. So I'm just using the makeup brush to do that. Okay. I have this pot here. Okay, I shared with you in one of the videos, and it is a self-watering pot, but what I like about it is that I don't have to really worry about if I am putting too much water into the reservoir. Okay, we know that, and if you don't, I'll just share it with you, that our terracotta pots wicks all by itself. Okay, so that's what I like about terracotta, and I enjoy planting plants in terracotta because it will wick up the water all by itself. This, which is plastic, you see at the bottom here, that will tell me, I think it tells me right here, that I can put that amount of water at the base of this plastic outer pot and sit my terracotta back in it, and you see how it looks. It's going to wick up the excess water, and I'll be able to see the water as it wicks up, and then I need to refill it. So I'm going to go on and plant my peace lily into this terracotta pot. So let's lay that to the side. Let's get our soil. I tell you, got a lot going on here. Repotting is a lot, but I love it. And so do my plants. So let's go on. Gonna mix this up some more. And we're gonna fill the bottom of the terracotta. Okay, so I have it filled. Let's try out our plant to see if I have enough at the bottom. Oh, and I do. I have plenty. So we're going to feel around the base of our plant here. I think the peace lily is going to enjoy its new home because the roots will be able to spread out. And I am not going to be surprised if definitely by spring I'll need to increase the pot size, even probably before that, because it's growing so fast. But I'm not going to do anything, you know, while it's cold. So this will be it before next spring. Okay, so let's look and see what we have. And we're going to use our makeup brush, and we're just going to dust around the top just to clean off the rim. That's what I'm doing. Cleaning off the rim. It is perfect. Now I'm going to use my liquid dirt and just water it in gently. I will not fill the reservoir while I'm here on camera. You know, you see this spout here? I like it because you can just be intentional where you want your water to go. Okay, so let's place it in its our pot, and look at what we have. Yeah, it turned out to be a beautiful repot. Yeah, this plant is really pretty. Even if it never blooms, this is a very nice plant. So let's set it aside. Okay, we are moving right along, guys. Moving right along. The next plant that we're going to repot, we're going to combine 2 into 1. This is an Aglaonema Silver Bay. Okay, when I purchased these plants about a year ago, they were already combined into a pot, and then I just made them into 2 separate pots. Now I'm going to just combine them together in another pot. So let's see what I'm going to use for that. I have this plastic pot here in which a plant came in. I have some packing peanuts, okay, which I'm going to use at the base of this pot as a filler. When it's wet, they dissolve. A lot of people don't like packing peanuts, but it's good so that I won't have to use all of my soil. So let's take some of the packing peanuts out. And then we'll leave just enough to raise the plant. So let's do that. And let's get them out of the pot. We're going to use the exact same soil because this pot is so large and this soil is good. So we're going to take it out like so. And I'll show you its roots. Look, beautiful roots. And look right there, guys. Wow. Okay. So you have a new growth that's coming on this plant. Great roots. It's been enjoying its home. And this is a chunky mix as well, guys. It's chunky. Okay. So we're going to put that at the bottom like so. I'm pressing it down. So far, so good. Okay. Move it out its way. And let's get the next plant. Get it out of its pot. And then we'll check out its roots. Another great root system. Okay, so let's combine them together. Usually when I'm doing something, a repot like this, and the plant is bushy, like so, I gently hold it at the top and feel around it, because if not, it'll fall over. It'll lean all by itself because we don't yet have the soil in it. So I'm gonna feel around the base, and the packing peanuts really helped to lift this plant up. So I'm telling you, you can use packing peanuts. I'm gonna use my hand for now. You can use packing peanuts, you can use rocks, whatever, in order to seal the base of the pot, especially when we have larger pots and you don't want to use all your soil. So, yeah. So you need something to lift your plant. And packing peanuts, as opposed to lava rocks, are not very heavy, so it won't make your pot very heavy. Packing peanuts are very light, and they dissolve, you know, once they're wet. So I'm pressing down. And once the new roots come in, it will help to anchor our plant. Yep. I'm just feeling around the base. This plant here is a lot larger than any of the other plants that I have repotted with you today. So it's taking a little more precision and a little more of my concentration, guys, to make sure I get the soil exactly where it needs to go in order to anchor the plants. Okay. I can use some of this. And aglaonemas, guys, are so easy to grow. They are relatively a low light plant, at least for me. It's a low light plant. And I'm not going to say at least for me, it is. It's a low light plant. It doesn't need direct light, and it enjoys staying moist. And I make sure that I keep it nice and moist, not soggy. I need some of this soil here to just finish it off, guys. Yep, to just finish it off. Yeah. And I'm going to use a little more than a 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'm going to use a 1/2 of a teaspoon around the top of this aglaonema. Just around the top. Here it is here. Okay. And I have a pot for it. Let me get it for you. Here is the pot that we're going to use for our aglaonema. It will sit right in this pot here. Okay, so let me water it in very well for us. It's going to definitely enjoy its new home. Yep. Going to enjoy its new home. And as it this soil settles, perhaps later on today, maybe tomorrow, if I need to just add some more soil, I will. But this is how it looks, guys. This is it right here. Okay, let's set it aside. Wow, that was a feat. So let's dust our tray a little bit. Get all the excess soil out of the way. And let's repot the very last plant. Whew. This is a Philodendron silver sword. Let's look at it. Look at those leaves, guys. You can't really see how beautiful the leaves are because it looks like it's coming out more of a dark green, but these leaves are really a silvery color leaf. It has more silver in it, and it's really pretty. I wanted to try another philodendron, okay? And you see that it has a new leaf that is coming out. I've only had this for a few days. I bought it last weekend at a plant store, and I knew I needed to repot it because of the way it's growing. So let's take it out first, and let's look at the root system. And I'm squeezing the pot because I can feel that the roots are kind of circling around the bottom. Yeah, it's kind of root bound. It's ready for its new home. Okay, so I'm going to sit it here. And with a Philodendron silver sword plant, the leaves, when you touch them, whatever oils or whatever you have on your fingertip, it will mess up the leaves. So I'm going to be extremely careful as to not touch the leaves. What I'm going to repot that silver sword in is this plant here. This is what the Aglaonema silverbae came out of, okay? It needs a tall pot because it's a tall plant. I went to Home Depot and bought one of these sticks here. Had it cut so that I can put it into the pot. So let me share with you every step that I'm going to take in order to make this philodendron happy in its new home. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is not use this mix, and instead I'm going to use Molly's Arrowhead mix. So let's take a peek at it. Let's take a peek and see what her mix actually looks like. Her mix is very, very airy, okay? It's a soilless mix, and I think this philodendron is gonna enjoy that. So I'm gonna go on and fill the bottom with Molly's. I'm just gonna pour it in because this is a tall pot. Okay. Pour it in. I'm going to, okay. Put a half teaspoon of our mycorrhizal fungi in, stir it around. And I'm gonna go on and just place our stick, okay? So I have the stick placed in here. I should have done it first, but I didn't. But I have the stick placed in here. And what I'm doing, that you can't see me doing, I'm making sure that the soil is pressed up against the stick, even in the back of the stick. I want this stick, right, to be able to stand on its own. I'm not touching it. is able to stand on its own. That is what I desire, okay? Now, I'm going to take our plant very gently, put it in, okay? Making sure I have all the roots I'm going to press it against the stick. And I have it standing by itself, guys. You see that? Velcro, a Velcro tie that I'm going to be using to attach our philodendron to its pole. So let's do that. Very gently, I have a long piece of Velcro tape, and I'm just going to gently attach it to its pole. Like so. Okay? Now I'm going to begin that leaf there that's yellowing. I'm going to go on and cut it off. Just snip it off. It's going to rot eventually. Okay, let me show you what the pot looks like before I fill it in. The back has room, and the front has space. Okay, so I'm gonna fill around the base of this pot. Making sure I do not touch the leaves at all, because I don't want any of the soil from my fingers to get on the leaves and mess up the leaves. I know this plant is going to be happy in its new home. And the root system is very nice. It's already growing down in a downward position. So I love that. And I'm pressing, making sure I'm filling in the sides, and I'm making this plant very secure, because plants like to feel secure so that they can go on and grow. Okay. Look at our plant, guys. What do you think? Look at it. It turned out to be very, very nice. And I think it's going to enjoy its new home and the secure of growing up this pole here. Let me show you something. See that root that's growing? It's already growing inside the soil. That's perfect. I just have to make sure that I keep it nice and moist. And the way I do that, I take some sphagnum moss, and I will put it around the top of our plant here and just keep it nice and moist. So That's how I will manage that. But I'm not going to do it today. We're going to go on and water this in with our liquid dirt. I'm going to add more liquid dirt to our watering can here. Hold on. And we're going to water it in extremely well because it had not been watered at all. So I'm just watering it in. So let's look at it one last time. It turned out to be great. It really did. So, guys, this has brought us to the very end of this great repotting video of all of these plants. I am so glad you came along for the ride, and I would like for you to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button so that you will know when I am on again with another great video just for you. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.